Today on Judge Faith. He says his former mechanic took his classic car and turned it into a clunker.
He just left it out. So with the hood up, saw this for myself. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming from the club one night. My car out there just getting pulled down on. Went through from snow to piling to summertime rain.
Look at them rims. Like a pimp car right there. He had an old car. It was hard to find parts, ma'am.
3 months is a lot of time for his car to still be in the shop and not be fixed properly.
And later, they claim they got caught in a Condo-Con.
It smelled like cigarettes. She was cleaning, and I was like, screw this, I'm leaving.
I don't want to hear someone's subjective opinion about what condition the carpet was in. I want you to bring proof and evidence that I can see for myself.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Darren Drain says he hired the defendant to restore his classic muscle car to its former glory. But instead, he was left with a rusted heap of metal. He's suing for property damage. Defendant Roger Boyd says he's the best mechanic in town, and he didn't damage the plaintiff's car while it was under his care. He's countersuing for the cost of parts and services rendered.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Drain versus Boyd.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Darren Drain,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Roger Boyd and RCB Auto Repair. You're the owner, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I sure
You're suing the defendant for $10,000 for property damage you say the defendant did to a 1978 Thunderbird.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand the statutory maximum in this court is $5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and sir, you are countersuing for $2,800 for the cost of parts and services rendered to the plaintiff's Thunderbird?
Yes, ma'am, I sure
Okay,
am.
so I will start with you, Mr. Drain. How did you meet the defendant and how did he come to start working on your car?
Well, ma'am, his shop is kind of popular in the neighborhood, you know. I had let him done some work on my car before, and I had purchased the 1978 Thunderbird. Thunderbird was kind of my dream car, so I always wanted it, you know. So what happened, I looked and looked, I Craigslist, I eBayed, I did everything I could possibly do to find this car. Finally found it, I had the whole hood proud of me. My mama, my daddy, everybody, co-workers, everybody like, man, that's Darren, you know, he's coming. It never been registered, it was pristine. He said that word itself, Your Honor.
You own a shop in the Atlanta area?
2 shops, ma'am.
Okay, and how long have you been in the mechanic business?
15 years. We have cars that's been in Ride magazines, Dub magazines. We do a lot of people's cars. That's why he came
What's
to
your
me.
specialty
name
when
in
you
none of
say
the magazines.
when you say you do people's cars? What's your specialty?
Yeah, customers. Oh, we restore older muscle cars and hot rods.
How long did you drive it before you took it to his shop?
Oh, I had the car for years by the time I took it to this last time to him.
Okay.
But me and him did a lot of things, a lot of work together on the car. So it's not. So he should have a very good knowledge of this motor. You know, it's 351 Windsor. It was chromed out. It was nice. It was pretty. When I let the hood up, everybody like, man, I can't believe it. You know, I called him up, said, man, I just got a diagnosis done, car tripping. Since I know me and you do work together, you know, hey, can I bring the car to your shop? I don't have any money on me right now, but I get paid in a couple days. I'll come drop you some off. He like, cool, you know me, come do it. So he tells me, gives me his word, hey man, I'll leave your car in the shop. At night, nobody will be able to steal the rims or
So you
anything
took the car
off
to his shop in February 2014?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so have you worked on cars like this? This is a 1978 Ford Thunderbird, so it's a classic car, right?
It's an old car. I wouldn't say a classic car. A classic car would be a Chevelle, Mustang, or Corvette.
Oh, really? That's the only classic cars.
Yeah.
Put the photos up, please. Okay, so that's it.
Look at them rims.
That's pretty nice. I'm just saying, I got a player image to keep on. So I drive a player
And they got
you
white
feel me?
walls on it. Those are 30 spokes.
What's wrong with a 30 spoke? Don't I look like I should ride a 30 spoke?
Well, is that
That looked like a pimp car right there.
Who took this photo?
I took the photo.
Okay, now was this before or after you took it to
Oh,
his
that was
shop?
well before I gave him the car.
Okay, what was the issue with the car at
The
that time?
timing chain.
Okay,
That was the original diagnosis from the shop previously.
so you needed a new one?
Yeah.
How long does he tell you it's going to take?
2 weeks.
Okay, and did you tell him 2 weeks approximately?
Yes, ma'am. In the beginning, we told him 2 weeks until we found out that he had other problems. He initially came to me with a timing chain job and asked me for an estimate.
So 2 weeks turns into 3 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why we're here today. I want you to tell me what happened. 2 weeks later, you go back, what happens?
2 weeks later, I go back, he say, hey man, we're having a problem getting those heads right, adjusted right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send them back to the machine shop.
So is he telling you it's gonna cost you more money? He has to order more parts?
No.
What's the
Roger
deal?
hadn't even quoted another price yet.
He had an old car. It was
at
hard
this-
to find parts, ma'am.
Keep
At
some
what
clean.
point do you realize that it's not going to be 2 or 3 weeks, that it's going to be 2 or 3 months?
The machine shop owner had a personal family problem. He had to go to Mississippi for a couple of weeks. And I called Mr. Darren and told him, hey, the guy's out of town. I'm waiting to get your heads back.
So what happens when you start following up? It's been now a month. What happens next?
I'm just getting excuses. I'm getting the runaround. Basically, he did call me and say, hey man, what engine size is
Several
it?
times.
Do you go by the
But
shop at all?
This is someone, yes,
Yeah, you go
I
by-
was stopping by all the time.
Showed him the work.
And
and
what were you
everything.
seeing? Did you not see that the work was being done that he was saying?
No work had been done. By this time, he told me he was going to keep my car inside the shop the whole time.
Okay.
He was going to roll it in and out.
In and out the shop.
In and out. So at some point,
got
within
6
after a
minutes.
month,
Hold on a second, sir.
he stopped rolling it in and out. He just left it out. So with the hood up now, hood up.
You saw
I'm
this for
getting
yourself?
rainwater. I saw this for myself. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming from the club one night. My car out there just getting pulled down on. 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, man. So the next morning, what I do? I go pop up
So
at the
it was
shop.
raining, it was pouring rain.
All the time. It's piling. I went through from snow to piling to summertime rain.
Let me ask you something. How long is he supposed to wait? Because 3
Well-
months, it's supposed to be a reasonable amount
Right.
of time.
You're right.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was it Darren's demands or Roger's trouble with time management that kept the car from continuing to be a classic?
It was short notice, ma'am. It was short notice.
No, it wasn't short notice, sir. You knew you were coming to court today. Surely you didn't think you were going to the beach.
And later, will the defendant's missing evidence give the plaintiffs the win they want in court?
You say the carpet was damaged. Did you send them a letter?
No, Your Honor.
You have to prove that they actually damaged the unit.
Plaintiff Darren Drain says the defendant destroyed his most prized possession, a classic 1978 Ford Thunderbird. He's suing for property damage. Defendant Roger Boyd says he took good care of the car while it was at his automotive shop, and the plaintiff is just a young guy who cares only about himself. He is countersuing for the cost of parts and services rendered.
Let's look at the photos. What do you want me to see from this
Okay,
photo?
do you see the rust that's around
That's
there?
'cause it's
And you
at
see
a
the
your
blue
house
paint.
outside.
That's blue paint that
I
they
see
did.
the paint.
We painted the entire engine.
Rust.
And what
You
is
see
the
the parts
green?
thrown out everywhere. That's my brand new AC compressor. That's like $300, $400.
It sits
by the way.
inside the car. We don't take it off the AC line. But that rust came because you took it home and left it outside.
I'm looking at a time frame here because that's the real issue. If you're doing the work, it has to be done in a reasonable amount of time. If you're going to keep someone's car for 3 months and they go back after 3 months and the work still isn't done and there are parts that need to be in the car that still aren't in the car, if there had been a clear line of communication to him telling him, okay, this is what's happening, this is why it's taken 3 months, and this is why we're here today. 3 months is a lot of time for his car to still be in the shop and not be fixed properly.
We called him and explained to him. My technician that was working on the car had a personal problem that happened to him. He was gone for about 4 weeks. And I explained to him what happened. The machine shop that did the work had a personal problem. Somebody in their family had an issue and they went to Mississippi. And I told him that I had to wait for the machine shop to give me the heads back.
So the technician had an issue. Somebody at the machine shop had a personal issue.
Did. Well, the main
Seems
issue
like
was,
everybody had an
the
issue.
main issue is we had, and you know what? It was just like a perfect storm. So we,
Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to hear any more about the car anymore. What happened when you took the car back? What kind of condition was it in?
When I got the car back to my
Yes.
house, man, I had paint overspray. You can see the paint overspray in pictures. It was paint overspray everywhere. I had, like I said, nuts and bolts everywhere. Again, I don't have my heads, my carburetor, my chrome
Should've took the
parts.
car?
I don't have anything. He's still holding those hostage.
And those things
Again, that's
are
what
in the
pimps do.
car.
They hold
They
them
were
hostage.
originally in the car and they aren't in the
they
car
were
now.
on the car. No, his old stuff was on the car. We bought new stuff.
No, he didn't buy
They're in
new
the
Okay,
shop.
sir, my question is, those old parts you
Were
took off the
on
car.
the car.
Okay, he does not have those parts,
No,
correct?
he didn't pay me for those parts. neither.
Okay,
They're my
well,
parts. Why would I have to pay
what
him
did you
for my
do in
parts?
3 months to be paid? Everyone has unfortunate situations that happens, but the world does not stop. The world goes on. And you can't tell me that the work that needed to be done or if you're waiting on parts, that you could not have communicated that better to him, and that it took 3 months to get to that place where that car is in that condition when he picked it up. What's your counterclaim about?
The parts that were done in the machine shop, and all those, all those receipts are here.
Okay, you gave me receipts from AutoZone, $12.49.
Those are just some of them.
$12.99, $7.50, $12.48. Is that it?
There's a lot more. I just didn't.
Okay,
bring
but you only brought me, so you brought me these. The rest of the receipts that you did not bring to court don't exist to me.
Okay.
You understand?
All the parts are itemized on the left-hand side. They're on his car.
Sir, you printed this out from your shop. I asked you for receipts showing me that you purchased parts. You gave me 4 receipts. Not a single one of them is over $12.99. You have no proof that you actually purchased the parts you say you purchased for his car.
Yes,
you knew you were coming to court today. Surely you didn't think you were going to the beach.
No, it was short notice, ma'am. It was short notice.
No, it wasn't short notice, sir. This entire case is about you saying he didn't pay. You ordered all of these parts for his car. You have not one shred of evidence that you ordered the parts you say you did. I asked for receipts, and you give me $12.49 from AutoZone. And even if it was short notice, you say you have it, why didn't you bring it with you? Based on everything I've heard here today, and I'm just going to rely on logic and common sense and apply it to the law, I am very disturbed by the fact that this car was in your shop for 3 months. And you took all of these parts out, and you said that you were waiting because you ordered new parts, meaning ordered them as in purchased them, and I ask you for the receipts, and you have absolutely no proof, and you give me 4 receipts from AutoZone. In addition, you're asking for $2,000 in labor in addition to the $800 you said you spent on parts. You don't have proof that you spent it on parts, so I'm certainly not going to take your word that you spent $2,000 in labor working on this car, so your counterclaim is dismissed. But I am going to award you and order the defendant to pay you the low retail value of the 1978 Ford Thunderbird based on NADA guides, which we were able to look up and pull. And that amount is $2,425 because when he took the car back, which he had to take it back after 3 months, you admit that you removed several parts from the car, and it was missing several parts.
They're at the shop.
Well, you didn't give them back to him, so now we're here. So now we're here, and my ruling is what it is, $2,425. Please pay him.
Thank you.
Plaintiffs Danielle Gilmartin and Taylor Giovanato are suing for their security deposit, claiming the defendant used it to install hardwood floors in her condo. Defendant Sandra Smith says the plaintiffs were tenants from hell and destroyed her condo when they vacated.
Taylor Giovanato?
Yes.
You and Daniel Gilmartin are suing the defendant Sandra Smith for $1,700 for the return of your security deposit. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I found an ad on Craigslist for a condo for rent. There wasn't any pictures listed, so I asked her to send me some pictures. We got it.
What month and year?
December 2012.
Okay.
So we went to the unit. It was just me walking in. It was raining, and she was standing there sweeping up this gigantic mess in the apartment. I mean, there was like cigarette smoke, like crusted onto the cabinets. It smelled like cigarettes. She was cleaning, and I was like, screw this, I'm leaving. And then Dan and the baby had already came up, so we walked in. And we were like, oh, I don't know, but we had to move in 2 days.
Why?
For work. We work for a drug and alcohol treatment facility.
Where were you moving from?
San Diego.
So you're moving from San Diego to where?
Glendale.
Okay, so you decide to lease the apartment.
Yeah, only really because it was really
big. Do you have a copy of the
big.
lease agreement?
Yes.
May I see it? What was the rent you agreed to?
$1,700.
And what was the security deposit you paid?
$1,700.
All right. How long did you live in the unit?
12 months.
Do you have a copy of the lease agreement?
We do.
May I see it, please? Thank you. So was this a one-year lease or a month-to-month?
1 year.
1 year.
Okay, so you stayed the full term of the lease.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Did you pay rent all 12 months?
Yes.
Yes. On time, every single time.
Okay, is that true?
Yes.
All right. So why did you keep their security deposit?
Coming up, Judge Faith gives these former tenants and their landlady a lesson in courtroom conduct.
You have a receipt that you purchased and put brand new carpet into the condo?
No, Your Honor.
You have photos of the damages to the carpet you say they caused.
No.
That. Did you know you were coming to court today when you decided to show up here?
Plaintiffs Danielle Gilmartin and Taylor Giovanato are suing for their security deposit. Defendant Sandra Smith says the plaintiffs destroyed her condo.
Why did you keep their security deposit?
Because the carpet that I had put in, which was brand new, was all stained and it was just destroyed.
Where are the stains?
Excuse me. The carpet was brand new prior to them moving in?
Yes, I had put in a brand new carpet.
Okay, do you have proof of receipts from you purchasing brand new carpet and installing it?
I have a Home Depot. I don't have the receipt, but I
Do you have pictures?
Excuse me, please allow me to ask the questions.
Unfortunately, I don't have pictures, but I do have a copy of my bank receipt, which reflects the Home Depot payment.
Do you have a receipt that you purchased and put brand new carpet into the condo prior to them moving in?
No, Your Honor, I don't have the actual receipt, but it's reflected on my bank statement.
I don't want to see a bank statement.
Okay, I
Do
don't
you
have it.
you have photos of
I
the
don't.
carpet that you say you installed prior to them moving in?
No, I didn't feel like I needed to
Okay.
take
Do you have photos of the damages to the carpet you say they caused?
No. No, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you know you were coming to court today when you decided to show up here?
Yes.
Okay.
But I never took photos in the first place. Otherwise, I would have brought them with me today.
But that's your responsibility as a landlord. If you think there's a possibility you're going to keep someone's security deposit, you have to prove that they actually damaged the unit and the reasons for your keeping their security deposit.
But I didn't
You
know.
say that the carpet was damaged. You say what?
It was not
That
damaged.
it was not.
Replaced the carpet with hardwood
And
floors.
so you have the burden of proof as the landlord to come into court and show me that the carpet was damaged to the tune of $1,700, by the way. That's a lot of money for carpet.
It wasn't $1,700, Your Honor.
How long have you been a landlord?
Since 2007.
She got the floors like redone with the new people that were moving in.
The new
So the
guy that
carpet
moved
went out
in,
anyway.
He was
So
an
she took her-
architect,
yeah.
so he got the floors for a
discounted
discounted
price.
rate.
So
she came in on a
pulled
Sunday
up the
morning.
carpet and put down what?
Wood flooring.
Okay.
With what money?
Your money.
And you're not asking them to pay for the cost of putting in wood flooring,
No.
are you?
I'm not. I'm only asking them to pay what I paid if I had gotten the carpet.
Okay,
Well, there's normal,
Which was
excuse
comparable.
me.
Your Honor.
Sorry.
Don't need your help. When a person leases a unit, when they move out, they have the right to collect their security deposit. Your responsibility as a landlord is to show them, you have 21 days to send them a letter explaining to them and send them an itemized list, itemizing the damages you say they caused to the unit and the cost to fix those damages. You say the carpet was damaged. Did you send them a letter within 21 days? Let me see a copy
No.
of the
It
letter.
wasn't within 21 days.
She
wasn't
wouldn't
within
respond to
Okay,
us.
so the answer to that question is no. And then, in terms of proving that the carpet was damaged, you have no proof.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You have no proof.
I do, Your Honor.
What proof do you have?
I have a letter from my current tenant. I have a letter from my handyman. I have an invoice from my cleaning lady.
Is he
Right,
licensed?
and I don't want hearsay. I don't want to hear someone's subjective opinion about what condition the carpet was in. I want you to bring proof and evidence that I can see for myself. You didn't do that. You owe these people their security deposit back, $1,700. Pay them back the full amount of their security deposit. Judgment for the plaintiffs.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.